Yes, well, I love this question because it's actually something that I thought a lot about when I was making art pop. I thought about the intention of the work. What did I want to accomplish with this record? And really, what I wanted to accomplish is I wanted to define the kind of music that I've really been making from the beginning of my career, but define it in a more simple way so that the fans could really understand it, like almost cracking open my brain so that people could look inside of me. When I went through my earlier work and we talked through my music and all of my different influences, I realized that what I am is a Warhol fan, an obsessed Warhol fan that came full circle. I fell so deeply in love with pop art. And then at some point, once I had looked through it all and read through it all and obsessed over it all, I realized that culture was now in a place for it to flip, that it had also almost come so full circle that it was having a rebirth. And this rebirth is now that art culture is coming into pop culture, as opposed to Marilyn being the subject of the canvas. Marilyn herself is now the canvas. So this is what art pop is all about. It's about making the artist, the muse, and the musician, and the canvas, and the work itself. Yes, of course, I listen to all different kinds of music, and I love J-pop, and I love the freedom of the music. The energy in J-pop is really powerful, and I'm always inspired by Japanese culture when working, and I was very inspired by Japanese culture while I was making the album. I would say Japanese culture mixed with German underground art culture and French dance music and Chicago techno and hip-hop. These were the things I was thinking about. I watched a lot of 70s performance art films that were so inspiring, and I also looked at a lot of fine art that I love. Jeff Koons, the amazing sculptor, he's one of, if not the greatest fine living artist of our time. And Marina Abramovich, my friend and mentor, and she's so incredible. And she, looking into her work, I became obsessed with freedom and how could I free myself with this album? How could I make music that took me outside of the box of being what people think is expected of a pop singer? And how can I push the boundaries, and how can the music set me free of all that? And then also Robert Wilson, who designed my stage for the VMAs, and we worked on that performance with him. He is a legend in the theatrical sphere. So these are the sorts of things I was looking at while I was writing the music. But the music is intended to be fun, a good time. I just want people to listen to the music and have a good time. Well, I never choose my singles, so I didn't actually choose it. But I thought it was a great choice as a lead single because the album is very eclectic and it goes on a journey. So it was more about what was the first statement that we wanted to make. And I liked the statement that it made because it brings back some very old sentiments about show business that I feel are very, very absent right now. This idea that the performer lives for the applause as opposed to living for the fame separate from the stage. I don't care about that kind of fame, just having people's attention all the time. What I crave is performing live and making a connection with my fans and hearing them cheer because they're happy. Well, it's completely different. I definitely evolve as much as I want to, I suppose, between each album. And the fame, going into the fame monster, there was a definite shift in, I think, the maturity of the dance elements in the music were more mature. They were also much darker and had more of a melancholy undertone, and I think that really brought out the aesthetic of Monsters. And then we got to Born This Way, which for me was a decision that I made to create a record that encapsulated me at 19, living in New York City, listening to metal and techno and glam rock, and writing an album that risked it all for a message about human rights and equality that I care deeply about. It was something that I really needed to do as a person. I guess after all that success, I didn't imagine that I would have an overwhelming feeling to give back. And even if that album just touched one person, it was worth it to me to risk it all. And then you go to ARTPOP, and I want to celebrate the victory of Born This Way, the victory for me of the fans' lives that it did touch in a very deep way, in an intimate way. So I made them a record to dance to. I made them a record to wipe their tears from Born This Way and throw confetti and kiss one another and applaud one another. In an age where a lot of people are cynical and want to tear each other down, I want my fans to cheer each other on. That's what ARTPOP is about. Now let's go into the future. We've left the